গুড ইভিনিং, আসসালামু আলাইকুম। আপনারা সব টেলিভিশনের সামনে আশা করি বালা আছেন, আর বালা থাকাটাই আমরা সবসময় চাই। আজকের টপিক আপনারা জানেন ক্যাটারিং সার্কেল এক মাস আপনারা সামনে আসেন না, বিকজ আমরা ঈদ আসিল। তো আমার পক্ষ থেকে আপনারা সবাই ঈদ মোবারক, যদিও লেট ঈদ মোবারক, বাট সবার কাছে ঈদ মোবারক। আমরা ইনভাইটেড গেস্ট এবং অডিয়েন্স যারা আছেন তারা ধন্যবাদ আজকে সহযোগিতা করার লাগে। আজকের প্রোগ্রাম আসলে খুবই সিম্পল, হেলথি ফুড এবং নিউ কনসেপ্টের উপরে। তবে তার আগে আমরা গিয়ে দেখবো যে আজকের টপিক ছাড়া যে গত এপিসোডে আসলে কী হয়েছে, আমরা একটা ছোট্ট একটা ক্লিপ দেখবো এবং ক্লিপটা আপনার লগে রিক্যাপ করবো, আমরা দেখবো সবাই মিলিয়ে। আমার অডিয়েন্স যারা আছেন, আমার গেস্ট যারা আছেন, তারা লইয়ে আমরা দেখবো। সো লেটস গো অ্যান্ড সি ইট ভিউজ অল। থ্যাংক ইউ। টেকনোলজি মানুষের টাইম সেভ করে, এফিসিয়েন্সি বাড়ায়। Why do you think restaurant industry technology though?
Technology can save us in terms of saving time. For example, taking orders.
We need more efficient running of businesses.
Everything is moving toward technology. Our customers are no different. And if we don't provide that facilities, then we are really running behind.
The latest innovations, I suppose, to follow that are contactless cards. They're proving very popular, especially with takeaways.
The only way possible to be successful today in this industry and with your business is through technology.
আমি কোনো অনলাইন কোম্পানি ইউজ করি না, আমি আমার অনলাইন ওয়েবসাইট অর্ডার ইউজ করি, এবং এটা ইউজ করার কারণে আজকে আমি hundreds of pounds every week আমি সেভ করলাম।
But now I'm getting to know them a bit more. I know things about them, and it's becoming a very important marketing tool, which is helping me increase my business.
It's instant and it happens quickly, and customers have that time and flexibility to go through each description on online device and then place an order.
Why digital marketing?
Facebook, simple tips for our restaurant owners. You go on there, you create interesting content, you share content that's going to create exposure, that's going to entice people to not just see your company as a business trying to sell to them, but engage with them, conversate with them, at the same time try and showcase why you're different.
And if you know how to use technology to create tests, you can. Modern technology can help you to do that.
People have to go to the trade shows, go see what's out there, go to the restaurant shows, see what machinery out there. They've existed for a long time. We don't do it. Do you know why? The tomato slicer is £250. Why should I pay £250 for a tomato slicer when I've got a guy who's going to do it anyway? This is the ignorance that we have to fight. Yeah, if you have this tomato slicer, you can slice as many as
But
much
he can
as
serve more customer, he can serve.
Any technology, it has a long-term investment. So, একটা system 5 years by every 3 years to calculate for, and instead of working out £200, is working out probably £20-30 a week. But people don't seem to understand that a good long-term investment, and a good multiply for the divide for the long time, you're making a huge saving.
E-marketing ছাড়া এই যুগে আমরা আর সাস্টেইন করা কোনো মতে সম্ভব নয়।
System that we use is a fingerprint system, so it helps us in efficiency with the staff. At what time they come in, they just log in by using the fingerprint system. When they finish work, they log out, because we have a lot of part-time staff or full-time staff. That way I don't have to do the work on an old-fashioned pad and start writing their time.
ভিউয়ার্স সকল আমরা আপনার সামনে তুলে ধরছিলাম লাস্ট এপিসোডও কিতা হয়েছিল এবং ছোট্ট ক্লিপের মাঝে আসেন সলিউশনটা কিতা আপনারা আশা করি যারা আছেন এইসব প্রোগ্রাম করিয়ে যদি আপনার কেটারিং ইন্ডাস্ট্রি যারা আছেন তারা যদি আমরা বিন্দু পরিমাণ কেটারিং সার্কেল থেকে সহযোগিতা করতাম পারি তাহলে আমরা যারা গেস্ট হল আইন বা যারা প্রেজেন্ট আছেন আমরা যারা করি আমরা একটু সার্থক হইব আমরা একটু ফিল করবো যে আপনার পার্ট আছি আমরা যাই হোক আমরা আজকের টপিক হিসেবে দেখি একটা ছোট্ট আর একটা ক্লিপ দেখি লেটস গো এন্ড সি অ্যানাদার ক্লিপ ফর টুডেজ টপিক থ্যাংক ইউ
Episode 4 Healthy Food Options and Adopting New Concepts. Embracing New Concepts and Menu Innovation with Healthy Foods for the ever changing competitive consumers. Why do restaurants fail? People have said the curry industry suffers from severe lack of innovation, creativity, authenticity, and originality with regards to the menu, and somewhat failing to cater for the ever changing, fiercely competitive and new generation of consumers. Let's watch what people said in our roadshows.
We have to create new dishes.
Once it was a vibrant industry and now it is in life support mission. And it is because we could not bring it up to date. We could not work with the time because time has changed, but we could not come up to the time.
You got a good idea, you could run the good business. Only your brain, not a business. If you use your brain, you will get everything.
So my dear friend, we are responsible for us. Let's start the business freshly.
We have to adapt ourselves. We have to modify our menu.
There are aspects to your business, things like, they are antioxidants. Peppers are. So other businesses are using these aspects of your business to promote their own food.
Now, it's time to grow. Where do I go? With the food trends in the next 10 years, many health initiatives will come and go, but less processed and fresh food will be king. Nowadays, diners want to have some new and more healthy options. The typical restaurant customer today is not the same as the typical restaurant customer 20 years ago. They have higher expectations and pay more attention to everything. 45% of diners would like to see more Mediterranean dishes on the menu, and fish is going to be the most popular trend. With 77% of caterers agreeing that trendy menus help attract new customers. Make sure you have the right dishes on your menu.
ভিউয়ার্স ওয়েলকাম ব্যাক গেস্ট কল ওয়েলকাম ব্যাক এখন আমরা আপনার পরিচয় করে দিই আজকে আমরা লোক গেস্ট কারা আছেন তারা লোক আপনার পরিচয় করে দিই সো লেটস স্টার্ট ফ্রম আমার হাতের ডান থেকে ভিউয়ার্স কল আব্দুল হক হাবিব হাবিব ভাই আসসালামু আলাইকুম
ওয়ালাইকুম আসসালাম
ভালো আছেন
জি ভালো
ভিউয়ার্স কল আপনারা হাবিব ভাইরে অনেকেই চিনেন এমডি লন্ডন ট্রেনিং সেন্টার মেনি আদার আইডেন্টিটি আছে বাট উইল স্টিক টু ওয়ান টুনাইট আমরা আরেকজন গেস্ট হাতের ডানে আছেন ডক্টর এম এ আউয়াল ভাই আপনারা অনেকেই চিনেন ইজ এ ফিজিশিয়ান ওয়েলকাম টু দ্য শো আসসালামু আলাইকুম
থ্যাংক ইউ আসসালামু আলাইকুম
ভালো আছেন থ্যাংক ইউ ভিউয়ার্স কল আমার হাতের বামে গেস্ট জেন আছেন আলতাফ হোসেন catering circle co-member at the same time he's a restaurateur welcome to the show assalamu alaikum bala asuni bhai thank you viewers hol amader ajker panel final guest ar first panel lo dekhba Moinul Hussain multi cuisine operator welcome to the show assalamu alaikum bala asuni bhai
very good
thank you viewers hol amra ashole just let's go back to the amra je clip ta dekhlam video clip ajker seta theke amra shuru kori আপনার কাছে ইনোভেশনের উপরে শুরু করি why is menu need to be innovative why is so necessary কেন দরকার why
আসলে thank you জলিল ভাই সর্বপ্রথম innovation is mother of all business success and business সকল যদি সব সময় এটা ইনোভেট না করে তার যদি আপনার নতুন কিছু কাস্টমারে না দেয় তাইলে পিছনে পড়ে যায় বিশেষ করে যে টেকনোলজি আমরা যেহেতু ইস এ টেকনোলজিক্যাল এজ উই হ্যাভ টু ইনোভেট নাও আমরা আজকে যে টপিক হেলথি ফুডর কথা যেটা মাতিয়ার especially in relation to healthy food ashole amra jeta
right so shall I start from the back
yeah
what is healthy food
okay healthy food is basically in terms of nutrition it has to be a balanced diet and the food got to be eaten in such a way so that you are varieties of food basically. So say for example
can we make it more simpler? Is it healthy mean no
yes,
ghee, no butter, no tel, no nothing? What is it?
I think in 1 minute it's difficult to conceptualize everything, but let me explain to you what it means. Basically, the food got to be nutritious, and nutrition gives us energy, and nutrition contains 3 basic things. We call it PFC, not perfect fried chicken, which is very, very unhealthy. It's the food needs protein, fat. Our body needs protein, fat.
I'm
and
not going to go
carbohydrate.
into the details.
But these are the 3
I want you to
basic.
answer me what is healthy food.
Yeah, I'm coming to that. So these are the 3 things we need: protein, fat, and carbohydrate. So a balance of all these 3 elements, আমরা যদি এখানে খাইতাম পারি এক প্লেটও, that would be a healthy food. এখন প্রোটিন কিতা? প্রোটিনও যেমন আমরা মিট, মাছ, ওগুলা। ফ্যাট আমরা
let's go back to the
মিটের
innovation.
দুধের মাধ্যমে পাই,
Innovation মানে কিতা
কার্বোহাইড্রেট, bread, rice, etc. So these are the 3 elements of a healthy food.
Innovation কিতা বুঝাইরা? Why is so necessary?
Innovation, especially in terms of our curry houses, our menus যেগুলা, menu আসলে দেখা যায় যে 2টা জিনিস আমি করব। নাম্বার 1 communication and number 2 visualization of healthy food. আমরা আজকে একটা 3টা মেনু আমি দেখা যাচ্ছিলাম, 3টা মেনু দেখা গেল আসলে out of about 50 different dishes, about 30 to 40 dishes are very, very healthy.
So, Habib bhai, let me ask you a
কিন্তু
simple
জহির ভাই, in terms of pictures, সব picture দেখা যায় red color like chili. So we are not talking, we are not communicating the healthy option that
But
we
don't
already
you,
have.
Don't you think that is the leg of lamb effect? Do you understand by leg of lamb effect? Arazonor dekha dekhi koriya, that's what it is. So if you see that guy got a red color picture menu, he goes and copy it, he goes and copy it. It's a leg of lamb effect.
Absolutely. Whereas if you think about it, we use quite a lot of vegetables, green. আমরা যদি মেনু দেখুন, about I would say about 40% of our menu is green. So in terms of communicating with customers, we are not telling customers that look, green is healthy, eat it.
So are you suggesting that we need to change the complete menu?
No, we don't have to change the menu. What I believe, our menu is fantastic. It was created about 80-90 years ago. Fantastically done. It got all the healthy options there. We have to communicate with the right language with our customers. So let me tell you a little bit there. We have to communicate in 3 different ways. Number 1, we have to, I call it VVW. We have to verbally communicate healthy options. You have to visualize with your pictures menu. McDonald's food is junk, but they made it look very green. Why? After burger or masala দেখবা একটা lettuce দিয়া ফটো দিয়ে সুন্দর লাগে healthy, which is
but that's a selling point, isn't it?
Selling point. Why don't we sell our 100% food in that way? Why not? Third way is writing. So on our menu we have to talk about like this food is 5 a day, for example. The government say that eat 5 a day.
I think I'm sticking
we don't
too
talk about
too
it
much.
5
I'll
a day.
come back to you in a second. Viewers সকল আপনারা যদি কেউ ইমেইল করতে চান বা ফোন করতে চান, আমরা আজকে কিছু ফোন নিমু, বাট ইমেইল করতে চাইলে স্ক্রিনও ইমেইল আছে, আমরা ইমেইল ফর্মও আপনার আর প্রেজেন্টার আছেন, আমরা ইমেইলগুলো আপনার লগে শেয়ার করব, সো ইউ ক্যান অলওয়েজ সেন্ড আস অ্যান ইমেইল। থ্যাংক ইউ হাবিব ভাই, আইল কাম ব্যাক টু ইউ ইন এ সেকেন্ড। আউয়াল ভাই, আপনার কাছে why Indian food is fattering?
Very good question.
And how to make it healthier?
Very good question. I think, as you know, I am a doctor, so I have to answer the question to some extent as a tasty food lover, Indians or Bangladeshi, because personally I feel I always like tasty food. I think we all like tasty food. Otherwise, you just go somewhere, you don't like the place, you don't like the food. So we basically Indians or Bangladeshi or Pakistani we like to make tasty food. To make tasty food, you have to make good masala. Possibly we all know masala, how to prepare the food. We put oil, we put ghee, we put butter, everything. Then we fry. Then we like a korma. One curry I mentioned. Best way to make the korma. You take the chicken, fry it in oil, deep oil. Then you marinate with ghee, butter, everything. Then you cook it. Then it becomes really, it's not meat, it's all high cholesterol impregnated meat. And each gram before, when it was a meat, it was possibly each gram will give about 20 calorie. When you fry and put all the butter, it will possibly 1 gram will be possibly 100 calorie. That's how we make nutritious food, tasty food. Tasty food means more
আওয়াল
cholesterol.
ভাই আমরা কি এগুলো ছাড়া কি টেস্টি ফুড বানাতে পারি না?
I think we can do it, but
But
it will
can I just
Sure.
can I just come in?
Yeah.
Where is in India or Asian subcontinent there is a dish called chicken tikka masala?
Yeah.
Tell me, where is
Okay,
it?
okay.
When you talk about authenticity, where is in India, where is in Bangladesh there is a dish called chicken tikka masala? Don't you think when we started in this country, we started with a hope that we're going to put some ghee and a coconut powders and almond and put a lot of creams in it.
Yeah.
So the reality was we did not started with our own food. We just sort of started with what would have sold to the British or a wider community in Europe. We started, so we didn't have the real healthy Asian, Bangladeshi, Indian food to the market.
It's not an authentic
No,
dish.
It was not an authentic dish.
It has been modified over the years. That's why we made much more tasty, much more oily.
Because
much more
lot of our
nutritious.
food had a lot of our dishes are Mughal headed. There was
Yes, of course, of course.
there was more better than a Mediterranean dish or anything
Absolutely.
else in Asian subcontinent.
Absolutely.
Starting from the kebab to the you name it, chicken tikka, whatever it is. Where is the fat there? Where is it? Tell me. Angtar maze banaiya, ang khoilar ufre. They used to burn it hours and hours.
That is much
But
better.
when we talk about it, that is not healthier. My question was very simple. That why Indian food is fattening?
Yeah, because we eat a lot of high cholesterol. We put a lot of ghee, got a lot of butter to make it tasty.
Okay. Let me ask you a simple
that's
question.
One reason.
How do we make it healthier?
Okay.
I disagree here.
I'll come to you in a second.
No, very good question. How we make healthier? Now you reverse the process. We'll, as you said, we will make that food with less masala. We'll make it tastier, but we don't put a lot of ghee, lot of butter, and we will not fry. We will eat non-fried. Like you put in the oven, you put a little bit of masala, put in the oven, same food, but you are not frying, you are not putting ghee and butter, you are not cooking again. So you just put in the oven, and the extra oil will drain off. The meat will be much more effective, much more healthier. Your body will get less cholesterol, less heart problem, less diabetes, less stroke. If we keep that whole life, you will see our cholesterol level will go low and it will stay low. If we keep the previous one, like we put ghee, butter, everything else, every day we don't realize it. Its cholesterol level goes up and everything goes up. Then we have all the problems. So, and also with that food, we should always use some vegetables. As we always say now, it is standard now, at least 5 times a day, we should have either vegetable or some sort of fruits, number one. Number two, when you eat meat or fish, it will no oil.
Awal bhai, can I just come in again, please?
That's healthy.
What is good in curry?
What is good in curry? Okay, if I say curry, chicken curry is less cholesterol. If beef curry, it is 5 times more cholesterol in beef. Lamb curry, almost same. We make curry, yes, okay, we make curry, but we make chicken curry in the way you like. Still, you put little bit of ghee and butter, still it will be lot less than beef and lamb. If we make fish, let's choose the fish which has less cholesterol. Like, you can say cod, like we can say, what do you call, salmon.
But I will
So
buy sadly, there is not many Indian restaurants in my knowledge sell any Bangladeshi or Indian fish. They only get a trout and put it in a stick and just put some red paste and that's it. They serve it. We are masebate Bangali. Because mas is the first word comes into our mouth. We all eat a lot of fish, but we never sold any fish. That's the sad reality.
No, quite right. So, if we are in
and one of the video clip just showed in next 10 years' time, the fish will be the best-selling dish, about 77% or something.
Now,
but we Bengali has failed to sell any fish.
Now, can I give you one?
Right, I've got to go to the other guest, but yes.
Why Japanese they live longer? Anybody can answer this?
No, I don't know. We haven't done that research, but you are the doctor.
That is statistics. Because they eat a lot of vegetable, they eat a lot of fish, very little raw meat. It has been proven because they have been proven as a nation.
Right.
Why can't you modify?
I just want to ask you a final question to you. A last thing I want to ask you. How long an Asian food will remain, a Bangladeshi food in the kitchen will remain fresh, you think?
You mean not in the fridge, outside?
Whatever.
Okay, if we put it outside, I think if it is cooked today, it should be consumed within 4 to 6 hours, definitely.
4 to 6 hours?
No, 4 to 6.
4 to 6 hours?
4 to 6, yeah. If we keep it nice and
With
rice
this
flour.
weather, you mean?
Oh, no, not this weather, of course.
All right, okay.
In this weather, possibly 3 hours, you can't keep more than 3 hours. I'm talking protein.
Okay.
Vegetable, maybe 2 hours. Vegetable rots quite quickly, but meat, because of protein, it is a bit longer.
I'll come back to you.
Yeah.
You said you had some different opinion. What was it?
Fundamentally, obviously, I respect what the doctor said, but fundamentally there are some misconceptions about our curry industry and the food that we eat and offer to our customers. This program is about commercial and
When was
commercial
the last
benefits.
time you ate a chicken tikka masala?
Never. I don't eat chicken tikka masala because this is not my dish.
When did you have
Now,
the last time chicken korma?
Chicken at home, not in a restaurant.
That's a totally different concept.
Absolutely. Now, what I'm saying is that fundamentally, curry is healthy, fundamentally. And that's what we are talking about, authenticity and originality. Because if you think about the food that we eat at home, full of vegetable, full of green stuff,
Right.
less fat, less oil.
I'll come back to you.
Let's introduce, let's innovate, and let's copy some of this home stuff in our catering industry.
Thank you. Thank you. প্রিয় সকল আমার হাতের বামে আইছি আলতাফ হোসেন New trend for authentic food is on the rise. মানে হইলো যে authentic food বলে এখন on the rise আছে আপনি কিটা মনে করেন
একটা ট্রু অথেন্টিক ফুড রাইজিং করে কিন্তু অ্যালংসাইড আমরা যদি আমরার ফুডও প্রমোট করি যেমন গ্রিল ফুড আছে এরপরে ফিশ ডিশ আছে এরপরে যে ডক্টর সাহেব বলেছেন যে চিকেন টিক্কা মশলা একটা ফ্যাট কিন্তু আমরা যদি একটার মাঝে লেস সুগার লেস বাটার ইউজ করি তাহলে এমন একটা টেস্টি ফ্লেভার চিকেন টিক্কা মশলাও হয় যে একটা আমরা পায়োনিয়ারিং করছি বা আমরা অন সেল মার্কেটও দিয়েছি একটা টেস্টও করার লাগে
আচ্ছা আমি হয়তো আপনার কাছে নেগেটিভ লাগবে ডু ইউ থিঙ্ক আপনারা আসলে ইন্ডিয়ান ফুডের নাম রিয়েল খানির বদনাম করছেন
আমরা আসলে একটা ভুল ধারণা মানুষে মনে করে যে ইন্ডিয়ান ফুড ফ্যাটি জিনিস কিন্তু আসলে
না আপনি কি তা মনে করেন যে আমরা আজ থেকে 70 ইয়ার্স 80 ইয়ার্স আগে আসলে রিয়েল কোনো ইন্ডিয়ান ফুড ঢুকাইছি না আমরা কনসেপ্ট থেকে নিজে নিজে কিছু বানাই লেছি বানাই আসলে যদি এখনো ইন্ডিয়া যান বা রিয়েল জায়গাতে হল যান এখনো যদি বালা জায়গাতে যান খানে there is no such a thing as food an unhealthy issue comes in
আসলে একটা ট্রু কিছু জিনিস আমরা নিজে ইনোভেশন করা হয়েছে আর কিছু খুব কম রিয়েলি অরিজিনাল ইন্ডিয়ান ডিশ ইন্ট্রোডিউস হয়েছে না যেটা আমরা গরম মানে হোম কুকিং কই আমরা মনে করি যে ইন ফিউচার আমরা হোম কুকিং যেটা গরম কুক করা হয় ওর ধরনের কিছু যদি ইন্ট্রোডিউস করি তাহলে আমার মনে হয় আরো ইমপ্রুভ হইব
আমি আপনার কাছে একটু পরে আমরা কন্টিনিউ করতে পারবো ভিউয়ার্স সকল আমরা আরেকজন প্রেজেন্টার আছেন আমার লগে আপনারা অনেকেই ছিলেন গত আরেক এপিসোডও দেখছেন আপনারা হেলাল মালিক সো আম গোইং টু পাস ইট টু হেলাল মালিক
Thank you, Mahib. It's very interesting to see today that already we've had some discussions looking at visualization. A lot of times when we see things, we actually see the fact that if it looks nice, we'll eat it. But the key fact is that we don't actually see how a customer eats the food. So today we've actually got some guests who are customers who will share their views with us. So if I can first ask Mr. Nicholas Blinkinsop to come, and I'll ask him a couple of questions. Thank you. Evening, thank you. How do you gauge the popularity of new menu items, and how do you encourage them to customers from a customer's point of view?
I think this isn't done very well because whenever I go for an Indian meal, you basically are expecting to get what you know. And if you go to a different restaurant, say an Italian or a Mediterranean restaurant, there's usually a specials board up informing you of what the special dishes are. You don't really see that much at the local Indian restaurant. So they could bring it to attention this way. But the other thing is, I think, the promotion. You're not promoting internationally or nationally, you're promoting locally. Usually the restaurateur, he has his own town, he has his own clientele. From my experience, most of the people that go to an Indian restaurant are predominantly middle-aged. So when people talk about, let's put it on Facebook, a lot of these guys don't even know how to use Facebook. So I think you have to look at your target audience and select them appropriately. So if you have lots of middle-aged people, you send flyers out, you make it known that way. For the younger people, they'll look at the website and you have more success that way, I'd say.
Thank you, Nicholas. Yep, thank you for your time and your view. Very, very interesting. Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
If I can now ask another one of our guests, Mr. Tariq K. Guri, to come on stage. He's also a customer, and I'll ask him a very simple question. How do we actually change the habits of British diners?
Thank you very much for having me on this program. See, I'll just share a few suggestions that I have noticed. See, it is the time has come to basically think out of the box. See, wherever you go for an Indian food, the taste is the same, but the name of the restaurant is only changed. See, in my opinion, what we have to do is basically all the people from the catering industry, they have to do some experimentation. See, we have a rich treasure of spices on our side, but we've never, I've never gone to a restaurant where I've seen a new dish with the same spices or, with slightly different taste. So I think we should not, the catering industry should not stick to the typical taste or the typical menu. The menu would not really give you any good taste. So in each and every restaurant, there should be a time after, the business where you are trying on the new dishes, keeping in view the latest, lifestyle changes and the new taste, So that is, in my opinion, that, the same Indian, Pakistani or Bangladeshi food, but in a different presentation, in a different slight variation in taste, that would help to change the eating habits.
Sure, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Two things we've actually learned from the customers. One is we need to have boards, and secondly, we need to actually look at promotion and how we can promote and experiment. If I can hand you back over to Mahi Bhai, that'll be grand. Thank you.
ভিউয়ার্স সকল আপনারা যদি ইমেইল পাঠাতে চান, ফোন করতে চান, এরপরে আমরা কিছু ফোন কল নেব। ইমেইলগুলো আছে আপনারা দেখতে পারবেন স্ক্রিনের মাঝে আছে ইমেইল, আপনারা ইমেইল ছাড়তে পারবেন একটু পরে। সো লেটস গো আলতাফ ভাই, আপনাদেরকে মাথা আসলাম, আপনাদেরকে শেষ করছি না। আপনি আসলে just behind all the visa, আমরা healthy food লইয়া মারতাম পারবো, নিউ কনসেপ্ট লইয়া মারতাম পারবো, কনসেপ্ট আপনারা করার ঠিক আছে, অথেন্টিসিটি বাড়াইরা অনেক কিছু করে, বাট আপনারা আসলে কাস্টমার সার্ভিস হোয়াট উড ইউ ডু টু মেক মানুষের লাগে একটা মেমোরেবল এক্সপিরিয়েন্স করার লাগে কিতা করতে পারবা?
রাইট, কাস্টমার যেমনে আপনার as soon as customer enter in your door, this is evolution started. আপনার রেস্টুরেন্টও রিপ্রেজেন্ট করে আপনি কীরকম গ্রিটিং করা, কীরকম রিসিভ করা, কীরকম আপনার ফ্রন্ট হাউস কমিউনিকেশন করে কাস্টমারের লগে। এরপরে এগুলা আপনার স্টাফ ট্রেনিং মেইনলি মানে যে আপনার প্রফেশনাল স্টাফ আপনি ইউজ করতে হইব। এটা করার পরে তারা দেখবা আপনার completely different attitude. You have to make stand alone from others. Everybody publishing and advertising same things, but if we stand alone different, we have to take market what the other business marketing. So if you do something different, better than them, ওগুলো মানে মেইনলি খেয়াল রাখতে হইব আপনার সাকসেসফুল বিজনেস ইয়ে করতে হইলে। এরপরে রেস্টুরেন্টে ক্লিননেস
সো আপনারা যখন তোমার বিল দেওয়ার সময় আফটার এইট দুইটা দিলা, চকলেট দুইটা দিলা, এগুলা কিতা লাগিয়ে দেন আপনারা? হোয়াট কনসেপ্ট থেকে আপনি দেন
এগুলা? জাস্ট added customer service.
I mean, what a customer service. You given him a £200 bill and you put 6 different aftershave of 6 of your whatever made Maharaja level chocolates you give it to customer. Is it something for him to remember?
No,
or you
not
buy
really.
On a Valentine's Day, you buy him him or her, whoever it is, a pink rose or a red rose. Is that part of your customer service?
Not really. The customer would not remember for this chocolate or this. Customer would remember how you treat them, how you service them, how food was. No matter how, বিজনেস আপনার রেস্টুরেন্ট কীরকম সাজাইছেন এটার উপরে মানে ডিপেন্ড করতে না, ডিপেন্ড করবো আপনার সার্ভিস, আপনার ফুড, কোয়ালিটি ফুড, quality menu.
As I said to one of our guests before, that a lot of these things in our industry, it's that leg of lamb effect. মানে একজনে যদি ভুল করিয়া থাকে আর এটা যদি হেইন করিয়া তখন এটা ভুল নিনা রাইট নিনা রং না দেখি আরোজন এটার কপি করা আরম্ভ করে দিছে
একটা ওই লাগে আমরা ব্যাড লাক মেনি রেস্টুরেন্ট মানে কপি
How would you say an onion bhaji is a healthy dish where on an onion bhaji you get a lot of onion together, put it there and suck it in a drum of oil basically, boil oil and then put it on and serve it on a customer?
That's we have to change those cooking habit. If we do slightly different for this.
When was the last time you had onion bhaji in your house?
Well, in my restaurant is every
No,
day.
if we don't eat that, why do we want to sell it to a customer?
Actually I started slightly different onion bhaji, which is like a pakora, is a less onions, less like
Pakora is totally different. You mix it with it, and you don't do it like onion bhaji.
No, we should find something.
Don't you think that whole concept of the food, healthier option, we messed it up? Whoever
Yeah,
it
so
is,
that's
I'm
why
not.
alongside we introduce some other healthy starter like a fish.
I even seen in a restaurant that people on a dish they will use a sprinkle of oil in the top as a decorations. I have seen it in my own eyes. I worked in this industry for many
Yeah,
years
that's
before I
right.
came here, and they used to put lal tel মানে গ্রেভির উপর তেই তেলে আসলে তোমার সিপর মাঝে লইয়া টু ফ্রি দিলেলা and they over a dish, and I worked in 23 different restaurants.
That's right. That's why we catering.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. But that's why we catering circle working very hard alongside to change this those habits, making.
I'm going to yes sir.
Onion bhaji dilemma, and samosas. What it is actually?
I'll come back to you. Let me go to. It's going to be unfair with Moinul Bhai. I'll come back to you. Moinul Bhai, I'm sorry, we're running out of time again. Once again, you're a multi-cuisine operator, so that means you do.
A lot of cuisines.
So you most probably don't do one thing. You see, you're a businessman. This is not making money. Let's move into Thai. Let's move into Italian tomorrow. Let's move into Turkish tomorrow. Like this, is it? Is that what it is? So if this is not working, you move on to another one. If the first one would have worked, you wouldn't move on to the others.
Yeah, I mean, I spend most of my time studying the market and seeing what's popular and what's trending. So it's quite important to research the market and go with the flow. I strongly believe in changing the menu and keeping up to date with the latest trends. For example, at the moment, Turkish food is very hot, and most Turkish restaurants are flourishing. So, trend is follow it, implement your own styles into the food, and change your menu accordingly. Don't stick to the same thing. Always adopt and move on. I think today's my subject I'm meant to be talking about is the ambience of restaurants and stuff. It's a very important factor, ambience in a restaurant. To make any business profitable and successful, you first of all have to look at how to create the right type of environment.
I need to stop you here. Turkish, you'll find in the city based. Turkish, you're not going to find 9,000. You most probably won't find 900 yet. Number one.
Yeah.
Number two, they're city based. They're totally different concept. It's like a grill food. Bank, come in, go there.
Yeah.
Indian food, obviously, is totally different. You find not only in a village, you'll find somewhere in a warehouse. That's how it is. From a takeaway service, they'll do it in a warehouse. They'll package it and do it. My question to you first is, because you have got the knowledge on a number of different concepts, but why the Indian restaurants' food, it's not popular in the lunchtime? Why we can't package for the customers in a lunchtime?
Well, I mean, it's not a case why Indian food isn't popular. Indian food is very popular at lunchtime. We just haven't catered to the right type of audience with the right style of food. I mean, in India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, everywhere, at lunchtime, what do we eat? Indian food. So we are not catering the right type of fast food mentality for lunchtime.
Here, lunch is about half an hour to 45
Exactly.
minutes. You never get it 1 hour.
We need to make it convenient.
Number two, if he goes there and order a dish, it takes 45 minutes to come out of the kitchen. He's not going to come next day. He's going to be about to lose his job.
Again, it comes to the question of adopting our menu to suit the clientele. Because lunchtime, you've got a maximum of like 40 minutes to serve your food, and customers can eat it and go. So we need to have like a pre-made food menu, which is simple and easy to serve during the lunchtime, and also very healthy as well. People don't want to eat too much heavy food at lunchtime. They want to have light food, less
But
greasy.
why we can't design light food?
I mean,
there are hundreds of different light foods there.
I as a person, I spend a lot of time designing that type of menu, but I think a lot of the restaurants are Indian restaurants, Bangladeshi restaurants, need to, one, open up lunchtimes for business, not just for preparations, because that's what most of our, the day is spent closed, not using that time to do business. We're just using it for prep work. I mean, this is the time we should be making money. So I think we need to be focusing on areas where we're lacking and not taking any notice of. For the last 50, 60 years, we've just been spending the usual patterns and following what other people are doing and not looking into the market.
I just want to ask you a final thing.
Yeah.
What interior designs, how important?
Interior design is vital. You need to feel comfortable in a place you're going to be eating. You need to feel relaxed. The more relaxed you feel, the more you're going to enjoy the whole experience. So it's creating the relaxed atmosphere. And
how do you create that? Just spend some comfortable chair, is it? Or
no,
get an architect to come in, or get a guy to come in?
You don't need to go that far. I mean, creating a relaxed, friendly atmosphere is one, having the right type of staff to look after your clientele. Two, is creating that ambience, which is mainly created with music, light music, not anything heavy, not your very traditional Indian music. You need to move on more, instrumental music, which is like upbeat drums. This type of music makes people feel happy. When people feel happy, they enjoy the food experience. So we just look at the what we can do and save money at the same time.
আপনি কি the viewers গুলোকে কিছু শেয়ার করবেন আপনার experience about healthy food and new concept in 30 seconds?
I mean, I think viewers should be, or restaurant owners should be looking at easy ways to improve the menu. Don't go to change the whole menu. Look at basics and look at where you can do it the cheapest way. Look at oils, like you can use alternative oils, less saturated fats. Just look at simple ways. Don't go to changing the whole menu. It's going to be too expensive and time consuming. You need to research it. The other thing is look into the music that you play in your restaurant, because sometimes the ambience, most of the time, the ambience is that will bring customers back to your business. So you look at that.
আপনি কি 10 সেকেন্ডে কিছু কইতার নিউ কনসেপ্টের উপরে?
নিউ কনসেপ্ট আমি মনে করি যে বালা করে মানে প্রমোট করা দরকার। আমরা গ্রিল ফুড বা ওভেন ফুড আর একটা জিনিস আছে খুব হেলথি, লেস স্পাইস।
ওভেন ফুড কি তা খারি হইব নি?
জি না, খারি হইতো না।
তাইলে আর আমরা খারি তো নাম বদলাই দিতে হইব তাইলে।
না, খারি বদলাই হইতো না। ওভেন ফুড মানে আর কিছু রোস্ট বা হেলথি ফুড, যেমন এখন যে মনির ভাই হয়েছে যে টার্কিশ ফুড, ঠিক টার্কিশ ফুড খুব বেশি পপুলার ওর, কিন্তু compared to our food is more healthier than Turkish food, because what our body needs, the spice like fresh herbs, everything, we mixing with our grilled food.
Thank you. Habib bhai, after it, off the record discussions, weather is changing in Britain. Don't you think the food also need to be changed?
Well, fundamentally, curry don't need to be changed. I think we need to bring authenticity and originality.
আগে ঠান্ডার দেশ আছে। Ice used to be 2 feet ice on the road, so man had a lot of alcohol. The beer was cheap. You give him a chicken fala and a chicken bindali, he wouldn't know the taste of it. Now people can't afford to drink like this. Don't you think that need to be changed?
Absolutely, yes. Chili and the hotness and the red, that color has to be changed into more green stuff, because that would be the
আপনার 10 সেকেন্ডে আপনি কি তা কইবা কোকা?
True realization of our curry industry.
Yeah.
Onion bhaji, for example, you can have it, but have with more salad as well. So balanced diet is very important, and exhibit and show it to your customers that curry is the most balanced diet on earth. It's fantastic. I love it.
Thank you. After 10 seconds.
Just towards the viewer.
Now, yes, healthy food and new concept report.
Right. Okay. As I mentioned to you before, that healthy food is the food which is less fat, less saturated cholesterol, impregnated oil. Whenever you have the meat, it will be lean meat, not the red meat like the chicken we eat. If we eat red meat, it has to be barbecued or grilled. The oil drips down. At least 5% of vegetables and fruits every day. You have to mix it with this. And whenever you have the drink, you have to be non-sugary drink. You have the dietary products like yogurt and milk, etc.
প্রেজেন্টার কাছে যাইমো ইমেল কিছু আইছে আপনার কাছ থেকে, আপনার কাছে শুনে উনাইবা হেলাল সাহেব। লেটস গো টু হেলাল। থ্যাংক ইউ।
Thank you, Mahibhai. Very interesting. We're having our experts talking about healthy foods, and I think healthy food starts at home. We've actually had some emails today. One email is from Mr. Abdul Muha, a very interesting email. He's actually written, "Nobody talks curry, just Nando's." He goes on to say, "Why don't curry houses move to new menus like Turkish?" Something that we all need to think about. Another email that we had from Anwar Ali Bhai, he said he would like to be part of the audience, but unfortunately he couldn't be here today. But he did send an email. The email he sent was, We at home are changing the way we eat. Before we used to have rice during the day and in the evening. Now, myself eats only in the evening and during the day has a very light lunch. Can't we do something like this in our businesses? If anybody else would like to send any more emails, please, please, please email us at info@cateringcircle.co.uk. If I can hand you back over to Mahi, thank you.
Thank you. ভিউয়ার্স সকল আমরা একটা ছোট্ট বিরতি যাইমু তার আগে ধন্যবাদ দেওয়ার পালা আমার চারো প্যানেলও যারা আসলে গেস্ট সকল তারা সবাই ধন্যবাদ আপনারা আওয়ালাকে ধন্যবাদ আপনারা আওয়ালাই দাও লেটস গো ফর আ ব্রেক ভিউয়ার্স সকল থ্যাংক ইউ ভিউয়ার্স ওয়েলকাম ব্যাক বিরতির পরে একটা লম্বা বিরতির পরে আপনার সামনে আমরা আবারও হাজির আজকের কনসেপ্ট এখন যারা টেলিভিশনের সামনে আপনারা জয়েন করছেন আমরা তার লাগে আবারও রিমাইন্ডার দিলাম যে হেলথি ফুড এবং নিউ কনসেপ্ট কেটারিং সার্কেল থেকে এটা আপনার সামনে তুলিয়ে ধরা হয় এবং আমরা সবসময় মনে করি যদি এই প্রোগ্রাম করে যদি আপনারা বিন্দু পরিমাণ আপনার কোনো ইমপ্রুভমেন্টস হয় বা আপনার কন্ট্রিবিউশন আমরা করতে পারি তাহলে যারা এটার পিছনে আসেন তারা মনে করবো তারা এই কষ্ট করা সার্থকর যাই হোক আমি এখন লম্বা না করি আমরা নতুন প্যানেল যারা গেস্ট হল আছেন তারা লোকে পরিচয় করে দিয়েছি আমার হাতের ডান থেকে শুরু করি আপনারা অনেকেই এই গেস্ট রেসিডেন্ট তারপরে আবার পরিচয় করে দিই শাহিনা আলী ওয়েলকাম টু দ্য শো আসসালামু আলাইকুম হাউ আর ইউ
Good, thank you.
Right, she's a chef, nutrition, and she also writes about food. So I'm going to go and find out more from her in a second. By Afrika Syed Istiak Ahmed, multi-cuisine operator. Welcome to the show, Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
I'm very good.
Thank you.
Great to be here.
ভিউয়ার্স যখন আমার হাতের বামে এখন আপনারা অনেকেই চিনবা না চিনলে এখন চিনবা তানরে সাইয়েদ আখতার ভাই ওয়েলকাম টু দ্য শো আসসালামু আলাইকুম
Thank you, Mahbub.
ভালো আছেন
জি ভালো
Thank you.
thank you.
Sign a restaurant at the same time nutrition thank you and you have seen Oliver with us before Oliver Ranson welcome to the show how are you
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam and good evening to you
It's lovely to be here.
Thank you pricing and branding experts আপনারা যারা চিনুন না তারা চিনতে পারবা এবং দেখাচ্ছ I'm going to come back to you in a minute let's go China থেকে শুরু করি আচ্ছা is it possible কারিতে কি তোমার কারির একটা ট্রেন্ড ক্রিয়েট করা যায় ইটিং আউট অর
It is possible. We created the trend and trained the taste buds of the current customers. And the trends at the moment are moving towards, well, if you look at in divisions of age groups, the biggest spend, well, the spend is going to be in 2017 is 54.7 billion in eating out. And out of that, the biggest market eating out at the moment and growing is 35 to 44-year-olds. But younger market is actually growing even more. And what we've noticed is that they're moving towards a high protein diet because they're working out, they're more in the gym more and they're more image conscious, especially the women as well. And they want to have more high protein. And the Indian diet or curry is actually specially geared towards that. You can get a lot more vegetarian dishes than in European foods and also a lot more high protein as well with dal and things like that.
So what is the healthy Indian cooking?
Healthy Indian cooking is actually everyday Indian cooking that we have at home. And a little tweak here and there on certain traditional dishes that are really, really the mainstays on the menu. They're not going to change because people really love those dishes. They can be tweaked with coconut oil. It's a big trend at the moment. They are selling points, those tweaks as well. So anyone that mentions that as a selling point of that dish is going to get an influx of newer customers, especially the younger age group. So I think it's really important that you really focus on that.
So when you said the age group and a 54 billion, I think the curry industry is about 4 billion in Britain, here and there. So it's not, it's what, 10th, 11th. So if you divide 54 by 4, we still got a lot. 10%?
I think the reason is because people are thinking of it as a luxury or an indulgence. They're not thinking of it as
but one of the customers said is the middle-aged people, why we can't promote that with the youngsters, because the curry industry's average customer age group mostly 30 to 50, 60, 50 like this.
Yeah, that fits into
so
the 35,
between 18 to 30, how can we go to them?
The reason why we're not actually gearing towards them at the moment is because we're not, I think another panelist actually mentioned that we're not going towards a casual dining market. We're doing
when you say casual market, so
casual dining is something that's very quick. It's not fast food, junk food. It's more
example
something like a dosa, for example, or a wrap with a roti or a chapati is
Okay.
casual dining. It's very quick to make. It's healthy as well. and it's
But
in and
that's
out.
very simple to convert into.
And
so
margins-wise,
few
it's
chicken
also
tikka,
good.
tikka inside with the roti.
Exactly, and it's
It's
profitable
casual.
as well, so it's easy to do.
But where are we failing to go to those customers as well? Why we can't invite? One of the guests said that the people who loves curry, they mostly half of them don't use, or majority of them don't use Facebooks and internets and everything, and they just goes to the local restaurants.
You have
And
to
that's-
look at it. You have to look at it from your target market at the moment, but also who you're gearing towards to bring in future. And you know, if you look at it from the point of different marketing methods for different target markets, that's the only way you'd be able to do it. To be able to.
Okay.
bring that
Last
market
question
in.
to you: how do we make Indian food more healthier and acceptable by the young generation as well?
Firstly, to make it more high protein, more protein intensive dishes, and then market those to the younger market because they are crazy about the high protein diet because it builds muscle and it also gives them that.
Are you saying
And
that
vegetarian
the
as well.
mainstream industry, mainstream televisions, radios, they're all missing out promoting the Indian
They
curry
are,
as well?
absolutely. They are missing out. You know, a big opportunity.
Why do you think they're missing out?
They're missing out because they're not focusing on the selling points of curries and how they're making certain changes to them, like they added instead of say vegetable oil, they're adding coconut oil, which is much better for the cholesterol levels. It's better cholesterol.
Do you think the people involved in the catering industry, they're failing to promote that to the young generation as well?
Yes, they are. They are definitely failing to promote that because they're basically being more generic at the moment, and they really need to identify the different selling points for different markets.
Shaina, thank you very much. Thank you. Istiak bhai, before I come to you, I'm going to take a phone call.
Okay.
But I'll come to you with a new concept in the market. How do you see that? So you got some time to think about it. Let's see who's on the line on the catering circle. Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum, wa alaikum salam. Thank you very much. It's a very good show. I'd just like to touch on something that one of the panellists said earlier. I think Shahina is absolutely spot on about healthy food. If we go to a more target market recipes, for example, protein, we're talking about chicken and we're talking about meat and we're talking about fish. These are all things that we actually provide at the Indian restaurant. We just need to be much more cautious of how we actually present it. For example, we won't use so much oil. We'll use coconut oil or mustard oil or olive oil. These are concepts that we can actually introduce into the restaurant, and I think we need to make sure that we are doing that. And it's not the target market. We can actually target those markets as long as we get the concept right and the people right and the food right. I hope that makes sense.
It does make sense, but I want to ask you something. How do you change the design of an Indian food?
What do you mean design? You can't change the
presentation.
design. The concept is still there. I think you need to question it in a way. How can you present it in a way that is still healthier? So if you've got tandoori chicken and you're putting yogurt, we won't use full-fat yogurt. We'll use healthy yogurt, like low-fat yogurt. We'll put it into roast, things like that. That's quite simple. For example, if we're going to use sheikh kebab or kebabs, we won't put them in the oven. We'll put them in the oven. We won't put them in tandoori chicken, or we won't put any oil in them. It's very easy to do. And I just want to touch on something you mentioned earlier about the onion bhajis. You can actually cook onion bhajis and curries in the oven. It's very, very simple. You just sprinkle the oil rather than put
Well, thank you for
full-fat
completing
oil
that,
or
because
deep fry.
I asked him the question, wanted him to tell me, but the guest didn't say that. So at least you made it clear. Thank you.
Right, and the spice is right. So these are things, again, Shahina Ali's got it spot on. She is the nutritionist on the panelist, and she knows what she's talking about. So thank you very much for bringing her on the panel.
Thank you. Thank you. Istiak bhai, what are the new concepts available in the market?
Well, there's loads of concepts out there, but
No, I'm talking about, I know you boys are multi-cuisine. This is a new trend within the Bangladeshi because the Indian markets are dying, so they're leaving that behind. The legacy of the Bangladeshis, they're leaving that behind. They're now going, some becoming Thai restaurant experts, some becoming, so I want to stick to the Indians. I want to stick to the Bangladeshis for a minute.
okay. Well, obviously, I can't talk about other people. I can only talk about what we've done.
So what is a new concept in the Bangladeshi
well-
markets or Indian markets?
Well, it's a concept. It's been around for many, many years. So I wouldn't really call it a new concept. I'd just say it's new amongst our industry. So if you're talking about, Indian food, Bengali, Pakistani food, within that.
But a lot of
organisation.
presentations are getting changed. Like chicken tikka used to be generally yellow. Now you don't see that yellow anymore.
Yeah.
Tandoori chicken used to be reddish, but it's no longer reddish. You know,
But again,
a lot of things are changing.
Again, yeah, you say it's changing, but a lot of people, you know, use their own recipes, use their own ingredients. So in terms of colour and things like that, it's individual to a certain organisation. You know, a lot of people are self-taught, so there's no right and wrong way of cooking a dish. So you know, people, you know, they can use whatever they want. So it might taste the same, but it might
Is
not
that
look
correct,
the same.
saying that there is no wrong or right way of cooking
I don't
a dish?
think there is, because if there was, there wouldn't be so many variations.
There must be a
between-
right way.
No, if you've got the right ingredients and you've got the right sort of method, no, I wouldn't. I would say.
But so a chicken tikka, if we cook it in a tandoori clay oven, and if we put it in one of those electric machines, there must be a difference, because that's not charcoal,
There'll
that's
be a
haven't got that
difference.
smoke,
There'll
and
be
this
a-
one is just. There must be a difference.
There'll be a difference in taste, but who says there's a right and wrong way of doing it? You know, if there was a right and wrong way of doing it, the question that you asked earlier on about, you know, healthy eating, it never exists, because, you know, what we were doing 20, 30, 40 years ago and what we're doing now, it's for a different palate, it's for a different person.
Yeah, Istiak Bhai, let make it simple. I hope you understand
Yeah,
Malai.
yeah.
How do we generate new ideas? How?
Well,
do we just go to another restaurant, copy it, see his menu, and come back and say, "Well, I'm going to do it"?
That's one way.
Okay. Well, what other way?
Okay, well, we've come across something called hot rocks. Now, I don't know whether you've
I'm
heard
not.
anything about that. Okay, so basically for the audience, it's a rock that's heated to as close as 450 degrees. Okay, when it's hot, it'll stay hot for about 40 minutes, so it allows you to have your meal at the table cooked to the way you want. Now, the good thing about this, and it touches a point that you've mentioned earlier, we don't use any fats, no oils, it's just natural juices from the meat that help cook it, so it's very, very healthy. Now, in terms of relating that back to the Indian side, you can cook chicken on there, you know, you can put a slight rub on there, and you can give the customer the sauce to go with it, so they are then adding the flavour to the dish. You know, you're not putting it in there, you've given them the tools.
I think we're going to see a video clip on that one
Yeah,
as well.
it might
bit
help
later, so
explain
very
things a little
shortly
bit
we'll
more.
see. Just a final notes on you. Apart from setting up, how do you cope with the competitions?
Well, to cope with competition, you've got to be one step ahead of them. So you've always got to be improving your game. Go to restaurants, eat out. You know, a lot of the owners in our industry have, you know, how often do they go out and eat at other places?
Actually, don't you think the government has failed in Britain to have a city and guild or BTEC nationals or something to have on a £4 billion industry? Don't you think?
I think they've
There
missed the
shouldn't be a
trick.
standard, rather than copying each other's, going to internet and everywhere. There should be a setup, a university or a college where people could have gone and set a standard up, innit? Or is that I'm talking bonkers from somewhere?
Well, we're to blame, I think. You know,
Why do you blame yourself?
Because well, I wouldn't blame
An
myself.
industry
I think
employ over a few
I think-
100,000
I think the
people.
people in our industry aren't doing enough to kind of get that out there. I think if
know your customer
yeah,
very
if
well.
exactly
Right, let me go and take a phone call. Let's see who's on the phone. Hello, Assalamu alaikum. Hello, Assalamu alaikum.
Hello.
Ji, Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Ji, khoka. Amra shunlam shobe.
Jalil bhai, I wanted to make a comment in regards to the new concept, basically.
Please do.
My name is Afzal. I do work in restaurant as well as a retail company. In regards to the new concept, I think we as a restaurant business owners, they lack in research to look for new concept, basically. I'll give you an example. I work for Iceland. They basically brought so one of the new concepts, which is slimming world. Slimming world. So basically, they're selling chicken masala and using the concept of slimming world, and it just went crazy, and they make so much money out of it. So you know, it's like healthy food, and like other retailers are selling this sort of food, and we basically invented the Indian restaurant, and we're lacking this in our trade. So I think we need to look for a new innovative kind of thing. So then that way we attract our customers.
Bye, thank you. Apne phone awar lagi. Thank you. Abaro apnar lage kono ek shomoy matbo amra. Thank you. ভিউজ গুলো আমরা যাইমু আবার মালিক সাহেবের গেছে আমরা উই গোইং টু গো ব্যাক বাট তার আগে আমরা একটা ছোট্ট ক্লিপ দেখবো আমরা লিংক টু দ্য সলিউশন ভিডিও অন এ নিউ টেকনোলজি ভিউজ আপনারা দেখছেন আমরা লগে কিলা ভাজি স্টোনের মাঝে কুক করা হয় বাট অন্য এক সময় ডিসকাশন করবো আমরা এগুলো নিয়ে তারপরেও কিন্তু আপনারা দেখছেন কীভাবে করা যায় আমি এখন হেলাল ভাই কাছে দিব আমরা as we are running out of time হেলাল ভাই
Thank you very much, Mahi. Very interesting. We've just watched a couple of very interesting videos. Something I think we should all think about and take home with us today. We've got two more guests very quickly. If we can keep it very, very short. If I can ask Mr. Siraj Ali to come, please. A very simple question that we need to ask you. Thank you. What are the ways that you set your business apart from everybody else?
Well, I actually what happened, I've been in here for the last 49 years, and I have been in the trade for a long time as I know it, and I have seen it from flake papers to contemporary and other things. But basically you have to be more tailored by yourself as a restaurateur to make it your place more presentation, more coziness, the quality, as the person mentioned about the food, the chicken tikka masala, you can use 95% of yogurt, homemade yogurt, and express to your customers, and you could coconut powder to thickness, and that sort of thing can be cut down. So obviously, how you make the marketing and present your food, and how you present your decor and cleanness, and also staff, how you train them.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your valuable comments. Thank you. If I may now ask Mr. Saeed Munju Ahmed to come on stage. Thank you. A very simple question for you. Do people really understand the concept of paying more for fine dining?
Yes, fine dining is a completely different experience from your regular restaurants. We all go out to eat. I would personally, when I go out to eat, I would prefer to go to a restaurant that offers good quality of food, good quality customer services, and in a nice, clean atmosphere. So therefore, you would actually be expected to pay a little bit more than your regular restaurants that you go to.
Right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. If I can hand you now back over to Mahi Bhai. Thank you.
Thank you, Halal. Thank you. ভাই আপনার কাছে আইলাম ভেরি সিম্পল আমরা আসলে সময়ের একটু পিছনে আছি আক্তার ভাই আসলে সবসময় আমরা সিলেটিতে একটা কথা আছে যে যদি চৌকে না খায় তাহলে মুখে খাওয়া যায় না সো আমরা আসলে এগুলোর কিলা in 21st century আমরা আসলে কিভাবে চেঞ্জ করব মানুষের দেখার পরে তার শখ আইব যে ইয়েস আই ওয়ান্ট টু ইট দিস আই ওয়ান্ট টু ট্রাই দিস আমরা কিলা এটা করবো কাছে
Thank you, Mahir Bhai. Actually, it's a very simple concept. Food design, আমরা obviously food to design আনা লাগবে আমরা খানির মাঝে. So basically, what আপনি যেটা হইলা সোক আমরা ফয়লা খাই কিন্তু সোক দি মুখ দি খাই পরে. তো এইটা কিন্তু খুবই একটা ইম্পর্টেন্ট জিনিস আপনি যেটা কইছেন কারণ ফুড ডিজাইন ইজ ভেরি ভেরি ইম্পর্টেন্ট একটা গিয়ে আপনার প্রসেসরে ইজি করে আপনার ফুড প্রেজেন্টেশনরে ইজি করে আরও সুন্দর বানায় কিন্তু অবভিয়াসলি একটা আপনার অ্যাস্থেটিক থাকতে হইব যে ফুড আমরা যখন প্রেজেন্টেশন করব অ্যাস্থেটিক থাকতে হইব বাট দ্যাট ডাজন্ট মিন ইট ডাজন্ট হ্যাভ টু লুক নাইস একটা স্টিল ইজ গোনা লুক নাইস বাট what we obviously have to do is design. We have to really concentrate on the design of the food. As long as the design is nice, আপনার আজকালকার যে নিউ জেনারেশন বা যারাও আছে
বা ইউ সি আপনি কেকও ডিজাইন করতে পারবা সুন্দর করিয়া খাপতে খাটবা চেঁচাতে খাটবা বিকজ এগুলো মেল্ট হওয়ার চান্স কম বাট খারির চিকেনের টুকরারে ডিজাইন করবা গেলে এটা তো একটু ডিফিকাল্ট কনসেপ্ট না হোক যায়
It's not difficult because আপনি যদি obviously আমরা ফাইন ডাইনিং সম্বন্ধে
প্রেজেন্টেশনে হয়তো আপনি ডিফারেন্ট ডিশ বদলাইলা সালাদ দিলা গ্রিন দিলা ডিফারেন্ট ভাবে করলা একটা খট্টার মধ্যে সুটুরাত বাদ দিলা যেমন so many different way people serving the food but you have to make it simpler as well for customer to eat na
It's everything. I mean, design obviously incorporates everything, Mahir Bhai. It's just not just food that design, comes into. Design, Sarah, obviously there's a plan and a design goes into building a house. And it's exactly, the concept is, we have to use that in our food. We have to use that technology to make it easier to pleasing with the eye. Apne jodi, for example, amare jodi ekta khabar paribeshan kora, if I go into a restaurant and I don't really want to see such a design je ekbare ekano it's so busy on the plate, it's just decorated with a iced swan, for example. What we need is the food to be bichakon jeta hoy unobtrusive. It needs to be minimalized. You don't need too much design or over designing. What needs to happen is the food needs to be honest. Okay, it needs to have honest ingredients. So this is obviously what makes the best food. But design element jeta ami khoiram obviously it needs to be simple.
Right. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. I think you were the last guest for the night, Oliver. I know we got to discuss about you're the experts of the pricing and branding, but how can we promote the curry, you think, to the lunchtime and a breakfast?
Well, I think this question really goes to the heart of what it means to run a business. Big or small, every business is about finding a customer need and serving it. And the restaurant business is no exception to this. We need to look and see what people want to eat at breakfast time and lunchtime. And it is a different product to a rich, meat-based or kind of sauce-based evening meal. First of all, you should understand what your customers want. You can ask them. You can say, I know you're enjoying the chicken tikka masala or the chicken korma or the lamb rogan josh for dinner. If you were coming here for lunch, would you like that or would you like something else? You can ask them. What they say will be up to them, of course, and I'm sure you'll find that interesting. You can also go out into the market and see what your competitors offer at lunchtime. It doesn't have to be a curry competitor. Everybody knows that people like to eat sandwiches at lunchtime. So maybe there's something that you can do, a dish that you can create, which is a kind of curry house take on the sandwich. It can be either to eat in the restaurant or take away.
What would you say to our viewers and the guest in here, today's program, Healthy Food and a New Concept? It's quite a few things in there. What do you value as a healthy food within the Indian restaurant? What do you see?
You know what I would really like to see at lunchtime in London and anywhere other city I visit in the UK, but I never do? I would love to see a thali. I never see them, but they're so beautiful. They're a combination of all kinds of different light foods.
8-9 dishes used to be before, right?
And I never see them. But I would love to eat one of those at lunchtime. I don't understand why they're not available.
Interesting. And how do you see a new concept apart from the thali?
Well,
because Shahina said a food could be like dosa and everything else. How do you see that incorporating within the Indians?
Well, I'm going to be a little bit cheeky here because I'm going to say that actually I don't think there's anything new under the sun. I think we need to look back at some of the classic dishes of Indian cuisine and from elsewhere in the world and get ideas. You know, what were people having for lunch in India 200 years ago? I don't know, but I'm sure somebody does, and maybe we can get some inspiration from that today. And I tell you something, I bet that if you marketed it really cleverly, and you kind of got back to sort of what it really means to be a real Indian man in the heart of Indian civilization, that would be something that a lot of people of Indian heritage and of all from anywhere else around the world, that people would buy into that. And I'm sure that you could innovate along those lines and it would be a commercial success.
Oliver, thank you. Thank you. Let's see who is the last caller. Hello, Assalamu alaikum. Hello, Assalamu alaikum. Ji, bhaiya khoka. Hello, Assalamu alaikum.
Hello.
Ji khoka bhaiya.
Hello.
Ji khoka amra shunram.
I'm calling to speak on the program.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. You are on live. Who's calling?
Hello. It's Terry here.
Hi, Terry.
Hello there. I just want to welcome. Thank you very much for the program. Just wanted to say something following from what Ollie was saying. Healthy food. I think the tandoori. Hello?
Yeah, you're on live. Carry on. Thank you.
I just want to say something about following from what Ollie was saying regarding healthy food. And obviously you have the burger chains with all their flame grills. Tandoori food. Tandoori with the salad is obviously a good food to have. Healthy food, healthy option.
Lovely. Thank you very much. Lovely. Thank you. Viewers, আমরা আসলে সময়ের খুব টাইট অবস্থা. What would you say in 10 seconds to our viewers today's program উপরে, Shaina?
Basically, there are so many traditional dishes that are still healthy, and we need to make Indian food as popular, as commonly available as pasta, so people can reach for it as a snack as well as as a luxury. So then that basically brings up the sales of all the Indian food and also the curry industry as well.
Thank you. Bhai, আপনি কি তা কইবা 10 সেকেন্ডে হোকেছেন?
I would say Burgles on the Rocks, check it out. If you want to see all the latest concepts, we're going down that route. So, if you want healthy eating, it's there. You can stick to what you're good at, Indian food, and look at the concepts and see how you can bring things together.
Thank you. Bhai, আপনি কি তা কইবা?
আমি কইমু মায়ের ভাই, basically to all our the curry industries, to the restaurants, please focus on design and technology. Put them together, it works. Look at programs like MasterChef. All they look at is their design and the look of the food. So dekhia maza lagi jay, ego automatically maza lage, and don't really focus on big portions.
10 seconds. What would you say, Oliver?
Listen to your customers and then then make a product in response. Have a punt, have a go, see if it works. One day you'll find that golden nugget.
Thank you. Thank you. Last 10 seconds was very punchy. Viewers, আমরা next আসলে প্রোগ্রামের শিডিউলটা দেখবো আমরা বিদায়ের আগে আপনারা লোকে শেয়ার করব শিডিউলটা. So let's go and see it. Thank you. প্রিয় সকল, আমি এবং আমার গেস্টের পক্ষ থেকে যদি কোনো প্রকারের ভুল ত্রুটি হয়ে থাকে আপনারা সবাই আমরা ক্ষমার চোখে দেখবো. আমরা আসলে কেউ আপনারা অফেন্স করার লাগে কোনো কিছু করি না. নেক্সট টপিক আসলে ফুড অ্যান্ড হেলথ অ্যান্ড হাইজিনের উপরে থাকবো. নেক্সট প্রোগ্রামে আপনারা সবার দাওয়াত রইল. 2 সপ্তাহ পরে আবারও আপনার সামনে প্রোগ্রাম লইয়া কেউ আইবা ক্যাটারিং সার্কুলার পক্ষ থেকে. আপনারা সবাই আমরা লাগি দোয়া করবা, আমরা লাগি ভালো থাকবা, আমরা সবসময় দোয়া দিয়ে রাখবা. থ্যাংক ইউ.